Hello guys, in this ZBrush quick tip I'll show you how you can use the knife brush to quickly get some cool sci-fi shapes and to separate your meshes as well. But real quick guys, if you're looking for what I consider to be the best 3D modeling tutorial on the internet, I recommend checking out my Udemy course. It's got tutorials on Blender, 3ds Max, CAD programs such as Plasticity and Moai 3D, and a lot of ZBrush as well. So if you want to master a variety of programs to really bring your skills up to the next level and master 3ds Max, Blender, ZBrush, and Plasticity, be sure to check out that course, link is in the description. Let's continue. So here I've just got this sphere, and first thing I'll do is just go into dynamesh. This is the default, if you press comma to go into lightbox, just the default sphere right here, which is where I usually start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the resolution because in the initial stages when you're designing something, you don't need it to be so complex. We just need something simple like this. So I can go ahead and use the move topological brush and maybe even simpler, right? Let's go with resolution of like 8, for example. Let's see if we can do that. Alright, so we can just go in here and just kind of quickly create some basic sci-fi shapes to start off with. So just going to do something like that. Just going to move it. Don't forget to go from all angles. All right, that's looking pretty interesting. Let's re-dynamesh that. All right, let's do a little bit of H polish action here as well. All right, we do a little bit of a pinch here, and since at this point I'll turn off dynamesh since I like the shape. I'll just Control D to subdivide that, and I'm going to use pinch and H polish to kind of further polish this out here. Alright, we can subdivide it and just kind of pinch this. That will help ZModeler kind of keep some parts sharp. And it's good for getting some cool shapes here as well. So try experimenting with the size as well. You can notice how, interesting shapes are happening here. Alright, once we've got this, we can go ahead and open up ZModeler. We can try and use detect edges, decrease this to low value, and ZMesh. Right here, I went and turned off detect edges and increase the target polygon count, and so I got this result right here. Right, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and Control D to subdivide that. Alright, so essentially, we can hold down Control Shift to switch to the knife curve or knife circle or knife lasso or knife rectangle. By default it's select rectangle. Alright, and I'm also going to go ahead and delete the lower levels subdivision. So now guys, if you hold down Control Shift, you can press Alt to have a curve here and Alt 2 times quickly to get a sharp angle. You can hold down spacebar to move it. If you want to go back to at this point, you can let go of Control Shift and just be left with this. If you tap Control, you will switch back to this mode right here. Alright, so let's do that again. The knife tool is superior to the previous clip or trim brushes because it actually works very well. However, notice how we're not actually separating objects, we're just kind of cutting them away. In order to activate that, you go into Brush, then go into the Clip Brush modifiers, activate B radius. If you don't want to go into here, you can hold down Control Shift. Don't click anything with your tablet or mouse. So before clicking anywhere, hold down Control Shift and just press the spacebar. Hold it down to activate B radius here as well as polygroup. So now, if we hold down Control Shift and then press Tab 2 times quickly, and then hold down Alt as we do so, notice how the line changes a little bit, it gets a little bit darker. We now get this, but we have a very huge chunk being cut out here. This depends on your draw size right here, so let's bring that all the way down. And now we get this very thin separation happening right here. As you can see, the knife brush doesn't really work with symmetry. Alright, so what we need to do is, first of all, we can split this up. So we can go into polygroups and use auto groups right here, which as you can see gives us a separate group right there. We can then simply go into group split. So we go into split and then group split. Alright, we can select this object and we can go into geometry and we can do mirror and weld to get the other one. Do the same for this one. Of course, guys, this is all very easy if you have menus. But I'm not using menus because I want you guys to know where it's located by default, you know. But once you know where it is, you can create your own little custom menus here. It's just that when you're creating tutorials, you don't want to confuse people. All right, so now we've got this, guys, and now we've got that. So Control Shift, we're going to press space, we're going to turn off B radius. We're just going to chop this off as well. So it works very well, guys, with kind of chopping things. So you split things, chop, split and chop, split and chop. So now we go back to this object and then we kind of chop that off. So as you can see, guys, really cool sci-fi things are just kind of popping out at us. We can also use knife to reinforce. So for example, if I don't quite like the shape, I can kind of reinforce it. Oops, let's go from this one. There we go. So that kind of reinforces that shape. Alright, and we can do a mirror and weld. We can just kind of find interesting angles to work with and work from there and get all sorts of cool sci-fi shapes going. Alright, we can follow up by actually giving different colors. So let's make this one, let's go into color, fill object. Let's make this one maybe a darker color here. And then for this one, let's choose primary color here. And now no matter what color we change to, we'll just have this. So right away, guys, you can set up really cool color schemes and kind of separate objects. Isolate and continue working with that. And what I like to do is bring in some ZModeler into the situation. So we're going to go ahead and use ZRemesher. Now, one thing that will make ZRemesher work better as opposed to this is to bring back some of those polygroups. So go back to polygroups and we can do group by normals and change this right here, for example. Get something like that. And then when we use remesher, it's probably too low. Keep groups and ZRemesh that. And now we get these kinds of cool results here. Now I can go in here with a little bit of ZModeler and do some work there as well. I like ZModeler because yeah, it's much faster to get details like this, both doing a whole bunch of polishing. So sometimes it's just fun to do things like this. So I can select this, right click, let's use inset. Alright guys, I hope that's giving you some ideas about how you can work with dynamesh and knife tool and ZModeler and masking. Thank you for watching and take care.